What else can I tell you? Early on, a lot of the economic activity was powered by cotton mills, I believe on the nearby Oconee River, Oconee. Of course, the native people were here originally. They got pushed out, and the economy, the cotton economy, was driven with the labor of slavery. And in fact, the first black students in the University of Georgia didn't enroll until 1961. And I know that was, it's just hard for me to believe it was so late. Not that anybody was really rushing for, anyway, I'm not going to get into that, but I was thinking earlier, I was born in 73, so that was similar to my boys, how they'll see like 1995-ish kind of times. It's crazy how fast the time goes. Look at all these old buildings, kind of cool. It's definitely got a college town vibe going here, which is pretty cool. There's definitely there's a lot of I don't know, there's something really appealing about that. We've got a big mural over here too. It's like, are they musicians? Maybe jazz musicians? That's pretty cool. Coming up on Lumpkin. So I think what I'm gonna do is walk down here to this Buckholland place. Here's a big parking garage with some shops on the base. Then we'll zigzag back, and then we'll get down into the university. We're near the eastern terminus, not quite eastern terminus, but the destination of our road trip from Montana down to South Carolina, which is going to end up around the Aiken area. Then we'll do some more traveling and filming afterwards on the way home. It's been a great trip. We've had wonderful weather. Little strange, I just read today that Denver, for the first time in recorded history, hasn't had snow prior to December 1st. So, I don't think we've had a couple days of light snow in Livingston. Historic Morton Theater there. I get a lot of comments often when I come out early or some of these places about how, oh, where is everybody? It's deserted. This morning, which is a Thursday, I'm out early. You know, sunrise was at 7:20, and this is Hull Street. This is cool. They've got some outdoor seating set up. And I like to get out. We've got places to go and be on this road trip. And I just like seeing cities kind of wake up, come alive, kind of have it to yourself. I'm not a fan of big crowded places. That's a personal thing, of course. Over just to check out this mural over here. also like it because I can walk down the middle of the street a long time sometimes and not get run over. I tried to look up what this was up here, and I never kind of quite got around to it. Coming up on Pulaski Street. Rook and Pond Board Game Cafe over there. That's pretty cool. I don't know who the mural belongs to. Epiphany is the store in this part of the building. Looks like a home decor, or maybe a women's clothing store. Georgian columns up there. Giant magnolia trees in the front yard of this place. Plantation looking building. We're gonna head down Pulaski a block, bang a left, and wend our way back uphill before heading down to the campus. I believe there's like a north campus and a south campus. So we'll just, I smell boxwoods. I love the smell of boxwoods. I think these hedges over there are primarily boxwoods. Yeah. Coming up on Clayton Street. More pedestrian barriers or traffic barriers. It's an interesting mix of subtle modern buildings. This is probably condos or apartments, and older buildings. The Wikipedia article I will hope to link to, remember to link to, indicated that the university is what drives or has traditionally driven the economic development of this town, the city. You know, you've got this sort of old historic 1 to 2 block area, and then it goes into hotels and residential, which is kind of nice. It feels like they've retained that college town vibe. There's a spin Classic City cycling off to my left. Back to Hull Street. This is kind of nice. This garden eating out here. Nice mural. Little greenhouses to dine in. Clever. I'll give you a better view of that. Sorry. Empire South. Georgia is known in some ways as the peach state, famous for their peaches. There's a cheeky peach clothing store behind me. Thank you to our Patreons our Patreon supporters. I get in a rush to get these videos and walks going, getting started, and let's move forward. And sometimes I forget to do the full intro. Your subscription, your membership is really appreciated and very helpful. So thank you. I also want to mention music. Athens, of course, is famous for kind of an alternative music scene. REM got its start here. B-52s, Widespread Panic, a couple others that I hadn't heard of, and yet we're still started here. They're apparently well known. I'm going to spin us around. This is the Georgia Theater, I believe a music venue. Pretty cool. And I think they used to have a lot of jazz people come through, jazz musicians. I'm gonna step out here, hopefully not get run over. The light. Trying to get a couple photos as I walk. Love the morning light, isn't it beautiful? And it's so nice to, I'm gonna unzip here, so pardon the audio. The microphone's right near the zipper. I like seeing a lively, vibrant downtown area. I also do like this quiet, having it kind of to myself. There's a few people walking around with their coffees, going to work or having their morning amble. This big building looks like it's a Wells Fargo bank. I guess I said I was going to wend about, so let's go down a block. Plus it looks like a pedestrian mall. College Avenue. And we'll just kiss the edge of the campus there. We'll take a look up here just to get the view of these old buildings and storefronts. Love a good pedestrian street. Getting their fast food breakfast. I guess that's the downside of this prime real estate. Chains can come in and usurp the space from local venues, I guess is the word. Ooh, it's gonna be pretty over in the campus. Coming up on Broad Street. I feel like that was renamed, and I can't remember the details from the Wikipedia article that I read. Oh, jeez. avoid the worst of the leaf blower coming up. Well, I thought I was kind of in the heart of downtown, but it looks like maybe this might be the heart. This is at least the locus of activity. Thank you. Have a good one. Guy very kindly paused to let me pass. I don't know what the rule is here on masks. See, let's head up this way. See some people wearing them. Outside in the hotel where I'm staying, the Hilton, had a little sign saying we don't consent to the enforcement of wearing masks or mask mandates or something. We wear ours inside, but you know. Morning. Korea tsunami. Not sure what the story is on that, but it sounds like an interesting fusion. Looks like we're getting some construction done up here. Back on Clayton. And what am I going to do here? I'm actually going to pop across the street here. They're doing some more construction down here, so I will venture out. Michael Brothers, founded 1882. Centro bar off to the right. There are a lot of parking garages here. I suppose that that's required when people come in for games and other athletic events. It's like an old theater turned. Maybe that's just the sign. 1785. And then the parking meters are maximum. They have maximum amounts that you can reserve or pay for at a time, and 2 hour during the main part of the day, and then I think from 6 to 10 it's 4 hours. So another reason to park in a parking garage. Must be quite the logistical challenge for the city when there's a big game and so many tens of thousands of people are coming into town, sort of surging in and then leaving. North Thomas Street. See, it's gotten a lot busier. So my plan here is to make a right, go back to the campus and explore in there. I do have a mask with me, but if I need to wear it, yeah. I love how they still have these fall colors. So these are boxwoods here, I think. And when it's like sage, when you break them, they have this really, you tear a leaf off or something, really pungent, sweet smell. I love it. I think a lot because it brings back memories. The mascot for UGA is the Bulldogs, and here's a statue of Uga, and I think they're on Uga the 10th or Uga the something, which is the living embodiment of the mascot. Hello, buddy. We're back on Broad Street, by the way. Pardon me. That's the sign for University of Georgia. I might just cross over up here. Magnolias on the left. Bar of Athens. This is North Jackson. I'm gonna wait for the light here. Yep, there we go. Actually a surprisingly modest signage. Maybe there's more later. How the sunlight is just hitting the buildings there. I'll kind of call out the names of the halls and buildings and stuff as I find them. But again, I have to plead ignorance in a lot of these. Look at the colors. Oh. Off to the left is going to be the Phi Kappa Hall. It's a library society of some sort. Very Grecian. Over here and see some of these. Okay, so sorry, that's Terrell Hall, Office of Undergraduate Admissions. I suspect we're in the oldest part of the university. Sure what this one is. It's pretty though. It's a chapel. Looking at Google Maps, the campus is pretty extensive, and I obviously won't get to all of it, but we'll take a a stroll. It's hard to even begin to think of where we should be going next. This is the North Campus Quad, apparently, according to Google Maps. Okay, that's just an administration building across the way. Google Maps doesn't name it. There's people in classes. I'm not going to film them, but it's kind of exciting, that discovery of knowledge. A lot of work, but gets me kind of excited for our kids if they ever decide to go to college. I'm going to pontificate here on my perambulation for a minute and say that it's not always the best investment of money, especially the way a lot of colleges invest their tuition dollars, what they charge. A lot of that goes to the sugar coating, the student unit building, and the gyms and athletic stuff. Apparently, it's a nice town. Try not to impose on other people's mornings. This is the Lestrade House, Office of Legal Affairs. This is the President's Club Garden off to our right. And then the Law Library across the way. Waddell Hall. I think my middle school principal was Mr. Waddell. I assume no connection, but little reminders. School of Law to the right. I assume there's more to it than that. The student numbers I quoted were for 2019. I don't know what they've done over the last couple of years, how it may have surged or ebbed or flowed, I guess is the metaphor I'm looking for. Let me check my map here. Kind of want to go. It's a cemetery. I don't want to go there. We'll go to the right because that looks cool. Let me put a mask on. I see a lot of people with masks on. I want to adhere to the safety protocols here as a guest. Tricky doing it one-handed. Not everybody's wearing them, but that's right. Looks like it's Brooks Hall Graduate School. It's fairly big. So I may sound a little muffled here. Show you some flowers. There's all these flowers that are still kind of blooming. I'm pretty surprised by that. Maybe it's normal for here. Love these. I want to say this is like myrtle or something, but I don't really know, and I don't want to take the time to look it up. Beautiful. To the right is Sanford Hall, Center on Human Trafficking Research and Outreach. Just see the edge of the football stadium up ahead. Some light sticking through beyond the trees, the skyline. Just saw one of the commuter buses, and on their little marquee it says "Go Dogs," like DAWGS, which is the colloquial pronunciation of dog here. So sometimes they'll be written that way to imply the southern accent. I'm going to guess that this, looking out now, is the southern campus. I'm going to go down here to the road, which is Baldwin, and make a right before looping back. Maybe I'll go down here. There's a walkway around. This is Park Hall. Lots of gray squirrels stocking up Robert Park Hall for the winter. Park Hall is the Department of English of Classics and Institute for African American Studies, if you're interested. I believe those pink flowers are azaleas. There's some more over here. About the end of their season. Might have a little other trouble going on too. These might be different on the right than on the left. Joseph Brown Hall, Comparative Literature, German and Slavic Studies. I don't think I've ever seen a Slavic Studies program. That's cool. Look at these beautiful decorative trees, leaves. That is awesome. Love it. poke our head up Lumpkin. But we're gonna actually stay on this side of the street and see how it extends down hill into that little valley. This area is pretty, what do I describe it? Hilly, narrow. I think that's a squirrel yelling. Could be a bird. You know, it's hill country in here. The building over there has a really nice, I'm just gonna cross, mural in the portico. Love seeing these bike lanes. I can imagine e-bikes, and I'm gonna harp on the e-bikes. I love the e-bikes being really useful here. Here's a little gray squirrel. Hey there, buddy. Little chipmunk too. Over here. In these hills being really handy. I'm enjoying this campus. You know, it's a big school. 40,000 people is a lot of people, and that's not even counting the staff and the faculty. But it's so leafy and tree-lined, and I don't know the other word I'm looking for, but it doesn't feel, it feels in no way sterile. I mean, here's a massive building, but I didn't even really see it until I got down here. That's pretty cool. Lovely campus. I think there is a architectural conservatism. Maybe that's not right. The right word. An architectural willingness to spend the money to keep sort of theme or aesthetic, I guess is the word. And you know, where other state schools, you know, you're dealing in large part with tax dollars, and you have an obligation to spend those responsibly. You know, a lot of times they'll be donated, but you end up with these sort of governmental looking buildings. There's the Bolton Dining Commons up there. I think culturally too, there is this element of conservatism where the culture of a place is going to demand, or is not going to be tolerant of, I'm trying to stay positive here, they're not going to build ugly buildings. And they're not going to build something so something that has a limited lifespan in terms of beauty or attractiveness, right? I'm trying not to pass judgment on anything, or rather I'm trying not to share my personal judgment. I'm not doing a great job of it. Here comes the football stadium. I'm not going to do my traditional rant about football, college football in particular, college sports in general, except to say that I believe UGA is one of the few places where the football program actually brings in more money than it spends. This is the Zell B. Miller Learning Center. And, you know, back to the architecture, who's to say that something like this, which is built with a, I don't know, collegiate look, colonial look, that brick work, who's to say that's not going to look dated in 40 years? And then the other thing I thought about the other day is, you know what? Maybe in 100 years, that will be classic architecture. We are the product of our times. It's a university bookstore. That's a robin calling. Could be wrong about that. See what I can do to avoid the leaf blower, if at all. Seeing bikes, but I'm not seeing a lot of e-bikes. Sure what street this is. The University, Sanford Stadium, University of Georgia. I'll scoot across before I get squashed. And unfortunately, the sun, we're looking straight into it. But this is the Tate Student Center off to the right. The other gates were open. Maybe this will be open. Ooh, you might be lucky. It's a nice quiet bus. I do like a quiet bus. Oh, it's nice. We're going to be open. And we're going to get to go take a peek. I assume we can. Can't quite get in the sun, out of the sun. There we go. You can see massive this stadium is. I don't know how many people it holds, but I'm going to wager that it's a lot. American football, y'all. Oh wow, look at this Jumbotron. That is jumbo. Alright. Maybe we'll get a better view hidden from the sun a bit down here. Kind of psyched that they have it open. It's kind of cool. Cool too. They've got a memorial for POW MIAs. It's a slightly less contrasty image, and we get a nice little, as I see my first e-bike, a nice little view of the campus in the distance. I just love all these fall colors. It's so beautiful. Now this stairway goes down, down, down to a little creek down there. And I am not going to go down those stairs because I do not want to come back up. So we're going to retrace our steps a little bit, and that happens sometimes on city walks. Sometimes nooks and crannies require that. Oh, it's just a massive, massive stadium. This is Dooley Field. Maybe the field is different than the stadium. I don't really know how those things work. Well, I'm going to cross over, but I don't want to get next to the leaf blower. In California, I've said this before, in California they've passed a bill that will phase out those two-stroke motors. They're exceptionally dirty, but they're so loud. Interesting that these are open. I know we're at the end of the semester, or getting towards it. I'm surprised there's no student affairs posters up. Kind of wonder how much in-person teaching is going on right now. I'm going to go up here. See what we can see. I don't know what the street name is. They don't seem to have street signs on campus. Kind of hoping this will go back over to what I call it. I don't know, over by where we started. That main drag. It's a WGA radio station, but also possibly these look like TV broadcasting dishes. So maybe they have a college TV show. This is awesome little quad here as well. Lovely, lovely flowers and a bunch of berries on one side of this tree. That's weird that there's just on one side. More gates to the stadium there. They really packed that in tight to the campus buildings. That's interesting. And they used a natural depression, I think, in the hills there, which is kind of cool. We're going over towards Campus Street. I don't know what the street is on the left, but the perpendicular street, I saw a sign that says Campus Drive, maybe. Campus Street. This is Millage Hall, Division of Academic Enhancement. If you've been to UGA, if you attended school here, if you've gone to games, I'd love to hear your comments in the YouTube comments section. Look at this little nook of a quad back in here. That's kind of cool. You know, obviously I didn't cover a lot. Hopefully I didn't make too many glaring mistakes. If you noticed either of those things, please let me know in the comments as well about that. Please be forgiving though. I'm doing my best. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good anyway. This is Campus Road. You can see how we're on a bit of a ridge here off in the distance that sort of falls off to the right. And at Hooper Street, campus and Hooper Street. We're at 58 minutes, everybody. That's a good walk. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to wrap it up here because I don't want to go too long. We will be filming more walking videos from the south as we go around, getting high points, visiting old friends, that sort of thing. So come back soon, and until then, keep on stepping. From Athens, Georgia.